So first, just what is it? So advanced work packaging is, and Sherry calls it planning, I see, but it's it's a structured process for planning and execution. And it's a way to really align engineering, procurement, and construction in a way that often doesn't happen. It focuses us on early planning. And, the one place where contractors usually are fairly good or pretty good is the work phase planning. And you see that, we see that in some of the lean scheduling efforts and lean, first planner and those type of things. They rely heavily on work phase planning. And so a lot of contractors are pretty good with that. AWP actually helps you bring that work phase planning back in and use it to help set the project up correctly. So it's not just construction level planning. So that's the first step you have to sort of get into your head. I don't know if it was originated, I don't think it was by CII, but it was certainly studied formally by CII. CII is a great organization. They are a serious research, so they're kind of the research arm of the construction industry. So they worked with the Construction Owners Association in Canada, and they've done quite a bit of research. They've done quite a bit of document work. So it's a great process that you can learn more about it at CII too. One way to describe it really is advanced work packaging really provides three deliverables across the project lifecycle. The construction work packages, which is sort of an overall overarching description. The engineering work packages, as we're used to seeing, and then the installation work packages that are used at the work phase planning. It provides that framework for execution. But with advanced work packaging, it's the execution plan that actually provides the guidance. And so that's what I like about it. It feeds into the way I learned to do good CPM scheduling and takes it further. So in a formal AWP, so if we're looking at real advanced work packaging, the full bore system, it takes quite a bit of change to most organizations from preliminary design, detailed engineering, and construction. And there are really kind of three stages: all the preliminary planning and design, the detailed engineering, and then the construction. And so one of the reasons that it fails when people try to implement it is they try to jump right into it instead of sort of bringing the organization along a maturity path to be able to make that work. The construction focus is strictly on work packages at the work phase. And so it's all about the installation work packages and going through those and meeting it, make sure they clear the impediments from the work packages, have it set up so they can be ready to go right to work. And I think people are often somewhat used to that. And so it can trick us into thinking we're ready to embrace advanced work packaging. And so I'll tell you why it's valuable. And some of this comes out of CII's research. They've developed what they call an AWP maturity model. And it's really three stages of implementation. The early stage is the kind of more effectiveness stage, and then the full business transformation stage. If you're embracing AWP and you expect it to work smoothly and not create a little bit of havoc, you have to climb this maturity path pretty quickly and try to get into the point where you're transforming the business with it. And at that point, it's painless because it's part of your ordinary operations. But no matter where you are in the maturity path, each stage has shown good performance improvements. In the early stages, which is where we're going to start today, field productivity has gone up, and some of that's from the better planning. Cost improvements come along, and we get better safety improvements. As we move into the effectiveness, then we start seeing more in productivity, cost, safety, and then schedule improvement starts to show up. And in business transformation, the quality improves, but we get predictability out of it more than anything. So that's get to the point where you can predict what's going to happen, consistent results. And the documented performance from the reference studies, research studies, show, productivity. Even in the early stages, we see something around a 10% increase in productivity because there's an emphasis on the work phase planning. As we move into effectiveness, we start moving up more like 25% increase. With that cost, we move from early stage sort of hitting the budget to coming in below budget as we move more mature. And safety, we start at zero lost time, and that gets better and better, gets more reliable, more predictable. Predictability overall, we move from a lot of variation from the baseline estimates of schedule costs, all those benchmarks, to finding that we have minor changes to the schedule. And moving into the transformation, then the execution schedule is really used to plan everything. And AACE is big in this whole execution plan, so it all falls in line. Quality, in early stages, we still see significant rework, and that affects the quality. The rework starts to go down as we move into the more mature, and we get significant savings on the quality side. Much less rework and a pretty big reduction in RFIs because we're starting to eliminate the uncertainties and better define the scope with our packages. Schedule-wise, we're close to being on time, but minor delay. As we move into the effectiveness, we start to move ahead and stay there with the business transformation. So there's lots of good reasons to think about embracing it.